All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to bring you a very important update on Cardano. Cardano has been exploding. We've had a giant 20 some odd percent impulse. Why is this? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about some technical analysis, short-term and long-term, mention some off-chart factors that you need to be aware of, and some massive news. So if you like the sound of that, folks, I want to ask you to do me a favor and do yourself a favor by like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. And I'll tell you why, folks. Look, I was ringing the alarm bell when Cardano broke out bullishly out of this ascending triangle back at 40 cents. So let's say you'd been following the channel, and let's say you got in at, let's say at the top here, 45 cents. You could have been up over 170% on Cardano. So folks, you know what to do. Stay tuned to this channel. Now, let's start off right off the bat with a major news story for Cardano. Folks, the much anticipated Coinbase Pro listing of Cardano is happening Thursday, March 18th at 9 a.m. PT. Folks, that is a big deal. The American market is a giant market for crypto, and Coinbase, I believe, is the largest centralized exchange in the United States. So this is a giant deal. This has been a long time in the making. This has been long anticipated. So that is why we've had this massive run up. Folks, follow our Twitter. Link for that down in the description below. Give us a follow where we post tons of helpful articles all the time. So stay tuned to our Twitter, folks. Link for that down in the description below. Now, let's talk about what's going to happen here in the short term. Let's begin by highlighting some of the key support and resistance areas that we need to be aware of to try to understand where we could react off to next. Well, I've been saying for a while, kind of $1.20, $1.22 to about $1.24 has been acting as resistance and is acting as resistance somewhat right now. We can see how based off these levels here, it's kind of a price reactive level, and we can also see there's a bit of a spike in volume right here. So if we can get above and hold above this level, I think we're going to retest $1.27. I think for us to see bullish continuation, folks, the key level to look out for is getting above and holding above $1.27. We can see here that's where we got rejected, and this has been historically a price reactive zone. To see bullish continuation, we need to get above and hold $1.27. Now, where is our floor of support for Cardano? Well, I'd say it's from $1.12 to about $1.15. We can see a very price reactive level, nice spike in volume. Okay, we got candle bodies closing this region as well. We have two 236 fib levels right at $1.15, $1.14. Okay, based off the bottom of this impulse to the top and then the retracement, we get the 236 Fibonacci level lining up right at $1.14 as well. The macro fib level 236 from the very macro bottom of price action to the top also lines up at $1.14. So not only that, we have this green support line based off these three wicks also coinciding with this cluster of support. So we have a lot of clusters of different support regions, all from about $1.15 to about $1.12. So I think this is the floor of where we fall back down to if we get rejected off $1.22, if we cannot maintain above this. So that is kind of our short-term floor if we correct from these levels. Now, moving forward, I think the most important support level is the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. Why? Because as we can see here, that is exactly where we found support, exactly where we stopped falling when we corrected. Now, I was saying for a while it was the 100 EMA on the 6-hour because, I didn't mean to do that. Let's just delete that for a sec. So, we can see how over here twice, we found support on the 100 EMA on the 6-hour. That's where we stopped correcting. But we fell through. But the 4-hour is where we fell. The 4-hour 200 EMA is where we found that support. So I think these two levels are the most important support levels for Cardano moving forward. Now, another very important thing that you guys need to be aware of is the launch of Goguen. So folks, we had a massive anticipatory run-up leading up to the launch of Mary on March 1st. What was Mary and what was Goguen? Mary brought native cryptocurrencies to the Cardano ecosystem. So just how Ethereum has the ERC20 coins, Cardano with Mary having launched March 1st, people will now be able to create native cryptocurrencies on the Cardano ecosystem. And we had quite a substantial running up, 80% run-up leading up to the launch of Mary. So Goguen, which is supposed to bring smart contract functionality and decentralized application functionality to Cardano, is supposed to be rolled out sometime this month, next month. I heard it got pushed back. So in the near future here, we could expect Goguen to launch. Now, if the market knows in advance when Goguen will launch, I would not be the least bit surprised if we have some kind of anticipatory run-up, similar, anticipatory run-up leading up to the launch of Goguen. Giant catalyst, one of the biggest catalysts in Cardano's history happening this month, if not probably next month. As well, Coinbase listing Cardano in 2 days, giant bullish catalyst. These are some of the important levels that we need to get above in order to see bullish continuation. Now, folks, let's take a look at our indicators, because our indicators are always very important to understand what the macro trend is saying. We've had a bullish crossover on the 12-hour MACD. This is a big deal. Let's zoom out here and see when was the last time we had a bullish crossover on the 12-hour MACD when we were oversold. So let's zoom out a bit here, and let me lower that, because that is not music, YouTube. That is not music. That is an optical illusion. So, I mean, we could say it was arguably here, although it was barely oversold. But anyways, we were oversold and had it there. So let's see where that lines up in price action. So here lines up right here. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit to that price action and see how price reacted to that bullish crossover. So it was right here that we had the bullish crossover. And look what led afterwards. So I'm not saying, the same kind of impulse is going to happen, same kind of parabolic growth is going to happen after this 12-hour. But point is, that 12-hour bullish crossover is a big deal as well. We seem to be getting bullish continuation, a bullish divergence, on the RSI on the 12-hour here, because as we can see here, based off this red resistance sign that we could draw, kind of based off the first two peaks in RSI here, we seem to be breaking above. So the question is, will we maintain above this red resistance sign, or will we do a similar thing as with this peak here, where we just peaked above and fell back down? When we can hold above this red resistance line, the first one I drew, and really this one here, I think that is when we see the next major impulse with Cardano once we break above this level here on the other side. So taking a look and following that 12-hour chart and seeing how this matures, how the MACD and the RSI matures over the next few hours and days here is going to be very interesting. So let's take a look at the 6 looks bullish. Let's take a look at the 1 looks bullish. So the higher time frames do look bullish. The only thing that's concerning is that we're overbought. Yeah, half an hour starting to tick down on the histogram. So yeah, just to kind of summarize here, folks, larger time frames look bullish. Bullish crossovers all the way around. But we're quite overextended on the lower time frames. So to understand whether we have that leg down in the short term, we got to look out for that $1.22. $1.22 is that key level. If we start to break down, I think these levels become far more likely now. Folks, another very interesting thing that we all need to be aware of for trying to understand when the altcoins are going to take off. When moon? That's what everyone wants to know, right? When do we moon? Folks, Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance chart. This is going to be an immensely important chart for timing when alt season truly gets here. For those who don't know, Bitcoin dominance is the total value of Bitcoin in comparison to the total value of all cryptocurrency. So you can see that right now Bitcoin is worth 61.64% of the entirety of the cryptocurrency market space. Now, we've been constantly flirting with the 60 percentile range. Whenever it is that we fall below 60% in Bitcoin dominance, I think that is when we see altcoins truly start to fly. Because look, folks, ever since January, really, we've been doing nothing but moving sideways in Bitcoin dominance. There's been no large impulses to the up or downside. We've been kind of stuck within this range from 65 and 60% in Bitcoin dominance. So once we see a breakout out of this range, and I think it's likelier than not that we see a breakout to the downside in Bitcoin dominance, once we see that breakout and we see something new, which is we haven't really broken down and held below 60%. Once we hold below that 60% in Bitcoin dominance, get like a daily candle below 60% in Bitcoin dominance, that is your cue, that alt season or some kind of alt season. Like there's going to be like pre-seasons. There's arguments that the true alt season doesn't come until the very end. And but some kind of major move for the altcoin market won't really happen until we fall below that 60 percentile. So following the Bitcoin dominance chart, very good chart for understanding what's going to happen with the altcoins. If we start to rally, that's going to place the dampers on the altcoins rallying. If we start to fall, that's going to help the altcoins continue to rally as well. It's always important to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads the market. Bitcoin moves quickly. Altcoins typically don't like that. But interestingly, altcoins have been holding up half decently compared to Bitcoin as of late. Very interesting to see. Folks, do not, I was about to say, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice. I'm not getting shaken out by any downtrend. I'm panic selling. I'm panic buying all these dips, not panic selling. You do you, boo. You know, like if you do, you know what's best for yourself. But I'm sure shit not selling anything. I'm panic buying these dips, not panic selling. So, folks, look. Another interesting thing to understand and follow is the Cardano Bitcoin and the Cardano Ethereum pairing, because they're very good for understanding hidden bullish and bearish divergence and hidden bullish and bearish bullish breakouts and hidden resistance levels that you wouldn't possibly anticipate if you were just looking at the US dollar value. So, folks, I was ringing the alarm bells once we broke out of these two key resistance levels with the Cardano Bitcoin pairing, and once we broke above these 3 wicks on the Cardano Ethereum pairing. So we fell back down to retest them. Now, if we can continue to see higher highs on the ADA ETH pairing, what is this? Let's turn that off. So once we can get above this key level on Cardano Ethereum, we can see this is a price reactive level. That's kind of where we got rejected off of. Once we see a higher high and breaking above this key level, I think that is when we can see bullish continuation, or at least a factor that will lead to see bullish continuation on the US dollar value for Cardano, as well as Bitcoin. We can see a pretty similar price structure where we're kind of getting rejected off a price reactive zone here. So once we get above and hold above this level, I think that is when we see the next major impulse for Cardano. And something interesting as well, folks. Sometimes we see movements happen, sometimes, not always, with the pairings before the movement translates to the US dollar value. So the pairings can sometimes act, as a leading indicator on the US dollar value. So following the pairings with Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be very important to understand moving forward as well. Folks, what's the long-term plan? What are we saying with Cardano long-term, you know? Over the long term, I like to say I think Cardano has a good chance of reaching $5 to $10. Ultimately, I don't know that for sure. Nobody knows for sure how high these coins are going to go. They're all just guesstimates for fun. What I do think I have a much better understanding of is understanding when this bull cycle is likely to reach some kind of cycle or local top. And I think Bitcoin is likely to reach some kind of top September, October this year. If you want to know why, join our Discord. Link for that down in the description. We have in our resources section. We've posted a chart by Trading Shot. Trading Shot broke down the Bitcoin cycles. So, folks, essentially Bitcoin moves in these 4-year cycles because of the halvings, and you can historically time the bottom and the tops of the cycles based off the halving. So, based off the previous halving that we've had recently, Bitcoin is likely to reach its top September, October. Now, that's not the end-all be-all, but is it an important factor that has been valid historically? It has. And so I'm selling based off time frames. I'm scaling out of my long-term positions based off time frames and not so much price targets. So come late third quarter, early fourth quarter, August, September, October, November, that is when I'm going to start to sell and scale out of my long-term positions. So whether Cardano's at $1, $5, $10, $30, $100, I'm selling based off time frames, not so much price targets. I highly encourage you to consider such as a suggestion. So my plan, honestly, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a retirement plan right here. I'm going to sell everything September, October, around that time. I'm going to move into stable coins and stake them on, platforms such as BlockFi, earning interest for about a year, and then buy back into the bottom of the bear market, because historically speaking, from the top of the cycle to the bottom of the bear market is typically about a year. So my plan is sell everything September, October, move into stable coins, stake them on something like BlockFi, earning interest. Folks, if you want to earn interest on your cryptocurrency, sign up with BlockFi. Link for that down in the description. If you're hodling and holding a bunch of crypto anyways, you might as well earn extra money, extra interest through something like BlockFi. We highly encourage you to check out BlockFi, where you can earn more money on your long-term bags. You might as well. You're sitting on them anyways. So that's my plan, to earn interest for about a year, buy back in 1 year after September, October, and then just hodl for years until the next cycle, folks. So you can look up when is the next Bitcoin halving. Like, look it up, Google it, and you'll see that the next Bitcoin halving is supposed to happen sometime 2024, I believe. And if you look at that chart by Trading Shot, again, link for that down in the description in our resources section in our Discord, you can see that from the halving to the top of the cycle, there's typically been about 500 days. So if we just assume from the next halving to the top of the next Bitcoin cycle is about 500 days, then I think the next Bitcoin cycle top is likely to be summer 2025. So folks, this is the retirement plan right here. sell everything September, October, move into stable coins, stake them for a year. 1 year after September, October, buy back in near the bottom of the bear market and hold everything until summer 2025. Sell everything, retire, buy a yacht, buy a beach, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the retirement plan right there, folks. And stay tuned with this channel. We're going to be breaking down the latest and greatest in technical analysis. Also, there's some on-chain factors that are and some on-chain analytics that are very helpful, at least historically, for calling local cycles and local tops. So whenever anything interesting happens with that, whenever we're nearing some kind of dangerous, parabolic growth stage where it's precarious and we could drop, we're definitely going to be talking about on this channel. Whenever we think the market, or we're likely to reach some kind of cycle top, we're definitely going to be talking about it on this channel. So make sure you stay tuned, folks. We're going to be bringing you the latest and greatest in technical analysis and news stories, all the greatest things in crypto. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon notified of new uploads as well. Folks, shilling time, check out Token Metrics. We honestly highly recommend it. It's an AI-fueled price predictions and portfolio suggestions platform that we use almost on a daily basis to help inform our thought process and our research. They even send you very helpful code reviews where they look over a project, review it, and just tell you what they find. And we find that very helpful. We use it to help inform some of our research and some of our thought process. So folks, if you can spare it, we highly recommend checking out Token Metrics. Link for that down in the description below. They also offer a paid trial. It's like a week for $10, $5 or something. Folks, check it out. We highly recommend it. As well, I think you guys get 10% off. Either way, it's highly worthwhile. As well, if you like what we do and you want to support us directly, consider joining our Patreon. Again, link for everything is down in the description. If you join our Patreon, you'll get access to our VIP Discord group where we talk about low-cap gems, very interesting setups, and very, very helpful resources. We're trying to learn Solidity, and so we're posting a bunch of the most helpful resources that we find in our Discord group. So make sure to check all those things. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Until next time, take care.